Welcome to the Courageous Hustler podcast. I'm your host, Sandra Ocasio from sandraocasio.com, founder of the Courageous Hustler brand. Our mission is to empower you to recognize that you can become everything you've ever dreamed impossible in your life. Embrace and embody the courageous hustler in you. In this community, fear does not stop our purpose. We just learn how to walk with it. This show is going to feature courageous hustlers from all around the world who have overcome adversity and achieved massive success by being brave and unstoppable. Courageous Hustler is a mindset-focused, open conversation podcast. To stay up to date on all upcoming episodes, make sure to subscribe, tune in every week, and with that being said, let's get on to today's episode. Hello, Courageous Hustlers, and welcome back to another episode. So today we are going to cover step 1 in my step-up method. And step 1 is self-awareness. And so I thought it would be great for me to just kind of give you some background as to like how I got into like really discovering self-awareness for myself and what I actually do and how I go about that and so forth. And so I really hope that this brings you some value and maybe some of these things is something you can apply for yourself. I will give you a full disclaimer. I am not a doctor, a medical doctor in any capacity, or a psychiatrist or any of that. All I am doing is sharing what my process was and how self-awareness helped me propel into the next level of where I currently am now. And so really, when I think about self-awareness, I really kind of dig deep into like, what is it that's happening? And see, here's the thing. I like to break up self-awareness into 2 different categories, right? I like to think of it as what's internally, like what is my internal self-awareness, which you can technically say this is what we think about ourselves, right? And then there's the external self-awareness, which is how others see us, right? How others perceive us and stuff like that. And so with internal self-awareness, it's really basically how we see ourselves, our values, our passion, our purpose, our belief system, all those things, right? And so it's so important to actually understand, is this something that requires for me to tap into my internal self-awareness or my external self-awareness? And for me, I tapped into both because it was so necessary for me to be aware, okay, I'm internalizing this in a certain manner because of the way I see myself. But then it's also important for you to understand, well, how is it that this is affecting how others see me, right? And I truly, truly believe when it comes down to self-awareness, I think that when people tap into their self-awareness, and I experience this even more with my own clients, right? Like, I know I really haven't shared a whole lot about what I do professionally. But for those of you who do know, you know me as an online coach. I am a tech coach in some communities. I do marketing and sales funnels, and I help women launch digital products so that they can obviously increase their impact, their income, and, show up more confidently with their offers, right? And what I meant to say is, for those of you who don't know, that's what I do. Okay. And so I've noticed that even in conversations with some of my clients, I noticed that when they start talking to me about certain offers, I like to always ask the difficult questions. It's like, okay, tell me about your offer and what exactly am I getting for what? Like, what are you selling me and what exactly is it, right? Like, what am I going to experience? Like, run it down as if I was one of the persons that was buying it, right? And what I've come to realize is the majority of them get stuck because they don't know enough about their offers. And what I find so difficult about that is that sometimes it's like, but if this is your offer, the more you know about your offer, the more you know about what type of experience you are trying to create with a client or for a customer or for your future customers, the more you will be comfortable talking about it and the more confident you'll be able to explain that, right? And so when it comes down to self-awareness, that's exactly how I feel. I feel like the more you know about self, the more you know about you, the more confident you're going to be, the more creative you're going to be. I truly believe that when you know more about you and about how you react to certain things or certain situations or society or how society perceives you and you are aware of that, you're able to create better relationships, better communication. And it just trickles into so many different things, right? That it's like, I want to, and I'm not saying that I'm a control freak, although sometimes I think my husband thinks that I am. I want to know more about me so that I'm able to correct the things that I know are affecting people around me that I love, or, did I handle this in the best capacity, right? I'm always asking those kind of questions when I'm having difficult conversations or conversations that are making me uncomfortable. I really sit and do a lot of self-reflecting. I even like to look up the definition of self-awareness because it's so important to actually know, what does that word actually mean, right? Like, why is that important for us to even know? And what I actually realized is even the definition, right? Conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motives, and desires. And even like reading that makes me wonder, okay, so I need to be more conscious about my own character. I need to be more conscious about my own feelings. I need to be more conscious about my motives. I need to be more conscious about my desires. And so I love this part because it's really helped me identify so many different areas that where I was literally blocking who I needed to be, all because I wasn't aware of certain behaviors that I was doing. And you know what? The honest truth is that we tend to sometimes even stifle our own progress, all out of fear of being who we really need to be. And when you're not aware of that, you'll still continue to block your own path. And so self-awareness for me has been really the area where it really started there for me. It really made me like I started identifying all the things, right? Because the reality for me was I knew I needed to make change. I knew that I needed to start creating better environments, not just for myself, but for my kids, my husband, my family. And that started with me understanding, why was I reacting to certain things in a certain manner? Why was certain things triggering me? And here's the interesting thing, right? My questions used to always be why. Like, why am I doing this? Why am I feeling this way? Why am I reacting to certain things in this manner? But the honest truth is, why is never the good question. The better question to ask yourself is what? What is it that's happening that's causing for me to feel this way? What is it that's occurring that I need to do differently for next time? And so when I started asking what instead of why, it started changing things, because I was no longer, when I was asking the why, I was actually always also trying to justify the why. But when I started asking what, it really changed things around, because now I was no longer operating from a place of maybe misinterpretation, right? Misinterpretation, if that's even the word. I don't know. Sometimes I mispronounce certain things. But the reason why I really shifted from that was because, I think the answer is that sometimes we do get trapped in our conscious awareness, and we tend to start making things be true, even if they're wrong. And so that's why I decided, you know what? The better question is not why, it's what. What can I do differently for the next time so I could have a better outcome? And never stop asking yourself questions. Never stop asking, did I handle this in the best capacity of self? Did I handle this in the best capacity for myself, right? And this is why I love that I have been able to be around so many people that have really helped me in my journey. One of the things that comes up often for me is Facebook memories, right? And so when Facebook memories comes up, Facebook memories tend to remind me a lot of who I used to be and and like the progress that I have made, right? And so one time I was all in my feelings about something that occurred, and I asked a friend, I was like, oh, I really want to post this. And she said to me, which what I loved, she said to me, do you really want to be reminded of that a year from today? And I was like, you know what? She's absolutely right. Like, I don't want to be reminded of how petty I used to be. I don't want to be reminded of how, lousy I used to think and rationalize certain things. And so, like, I share all of this with you because maybe there's something going on today in your life that maybe you are contemplating that's, like, did I handle this in the best capacity? What is it that is causing me to be triggered? What is it that I could do differently? Like, maybe you're going through something like that, but I want you to start tapping into inward before we start putting the blame on something else or putting the blame on someone else. Start tapping into what can you do differently today so that you are actually able to show up as the best version of you for tomorrow. And so I'm going to leave you guys with that. I really hope that this has served you. And I hope that you guys can take some of these little nuggets that I dropped today. I know that this is a short one, but I'm super excited because on the next episode, I am bringing on Pastor Courage Molina, and she is absolutely amazing. And so I can't wait for you guys to hear that one. Until next time, make sure you go subscribe, share, and like, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. As always, please go ahead and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. All those handles are here on the show notes. And also make sure you give us a rating. We would love to be able to grow this community. Share this podcast with anyone you believe is going to be blessed by this information. Make sure to subscribe so you can get notified of our next episodes dropping. And until next time, stay courageous.